Ready? Let's do it.
You.
What up,
I'm the definition of half man, half ass the club. Bad boy, that's what's up. After bucks, crush crews after us. No games, we ain't laughing much. Nothing but big things. Check the hit list, how we twitch.
What up, though? What up, though? This is Detroit Mail with another I.O.W. Sports here on a lovely Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if some of y'all caught at the beginning, I have some of that, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. I was kind of that bad boy mood because we ain't going nowhere. We are here live. And just get the preliminary things on out the way. So if you haven't done it, please go over to our YouTube channel, I.O.W. Sports Network, where you will catch everything that we do. For instance, if you up late and you just got through watching a West Coast game and you still want to chop it up about sports, you can catch the late night hour with our homie Wild Card Marv. What up, Sincere? What up, MJ? And you can catch him and MJ when they chop it up about sports late at night for you late night owls. And if you just want to chop it up live and you want to get in every Monday and Thursday at 4 p.m., and today happened to be one of those days, Eastern Standard Time, we chop it up about sports. Me, Nick, and Lamar. You guys are being here in a second, so go ahead and get it started. And if you just like just chopping it up and you don't want to be on the chat or come on the show, you just want to drop a take or promote something, we got our own Facebook page, I.O.W. Network. You can come join that, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. Getting that, join. We got all kinds of stuff that goes on there, polls, stats, people promoting things. So it's there for you because the keyword is network. Also, this lovely hat that I'm wearing here, if you like to get one, just drop your ad in. We'll send you one $30 and you will get your I.O.W. hat and everything. And I'm Nick, Proud Jets fan, he has his own channel that he talks about everything Jet. And soon, coming soon, Lamar be starting up his Chief page and everything. So you can catch him, Wildcard Chief, and I will be back up with the No Name Podcast and Detroit Lions, starting that up. And we're trying to get the radio station back up. Hopefully by the end of this year, the radio station will be back up. So if you're interested in putting your show on there, we are looking for content at a low price. So we're trying to get that rolling because look, with the writers on strike, the actors on strike, people are gonna be looking for alternative entertainment, and we trying to jump in right now and take advantage of that. So hey, if you miss your favorite show and it's not coming back because on hiatus because of strike, check us out. We doing some things over here Also got Sylvan Rivalry with my sister and I. We do a show on that. We talk about hot topics, mental male, and a few other things. Lamar does a wrestling page. So we got a lot of stuff going on, but we trying to get bigger and bigger. So if you got some content you want to join the network, hey, we're looking for more talent. So anyway, we got all that out the way. It's time to. What up, Nick? Can you hear? I heard you earlier. You got something on mute? I heard you earlier. Check your mic. It's on mute. Yeah, I see your list moving, but don't hear nothing. I prefer to hear you, not see you. So can you just reverse that? I'm waiting on Nick because the first topic we want to talk about is the trade that went down. Since it's involving both our teams, I want to go ahead and get them in before I get started on that. So hopefully we give him a few minutes. If not, we just jump on to a new topic till he gets up in here. But anyway, good to see Sincere and MJ in here. Check to see if you're on mute. It was working perfect. Oh, I can't hear you now. You not in the thing. Hold on a second. It says cannot unmute the guest because they closed it. It said the thing says you are mute. You muted somewhere. There you go. Now come back. Come here. I should better hear you. No. Hold on a second. Let me see something. It was perfect. Go. Okay. Now I look like I think Nick is in here. Matt, just trying to get his audio together. And Lamar should be in here another. What time is it? About 4:30. So he should be in here in a minute too. Hopefully, Is anything come disconnected? Cause all right. If you go to settings, you can hear me though right now? Go to settings and you go to that and look on the left hand side, say audio. What up though, Kofi? And is it showing that it's reading your mic? You hit that little drop box. Is your mic up there? All right. You see what I'm talking about though? Yeah. See if it's reading your mic. You can do an audio test in there too. Like hit that little test button and see. I know y'all can't see him, but I can see him in the backstage. I can't fix it on your end because you're an administrator, so I can't fix it on my end. You want me to send you an invite? Try it that way? All right, while you doing that, I'm just gonna just do we're gonna talk about another subject while you're doing that. And let me know when I see you pop in. I was watching I was the first take one of them. I'll be watching so much crap. But anyway, they was talking about Joel Embiid and the Sixers, and you know, they was talking about whether or not he should stay or leave. And the ownership and the front office was telling him, hey, look, next year we can get more money in the salary cap. We'll bring some more people in, and we can build a better team around you, blah blah blah. And so the question I have, for those out there listening, should Embiid stay or go? Is it beneficial for him to stay and wait, or should he just try himself in the free market and see who will take him. Now, going by what they said about James Harden, they want a lot back for him. So if they want a lot back from Harden, I know they want a lot back from Embiid. You know, he got the MVP behind his name, and we can go down his accolades, and then we can go even on further and talk about how he had all these things, we still ain't won nothing. To me, we can go that route, but just looking at based on Embiid as a player and his accolades, what his contract demands to get him, will teams even bite on him? Will he be beneficial to another team, or should he just wait? Me personally, I think he's turning 30 this year, so he's getting on the other side of that NBA ARP type thing. He's getting old. He's getting old. He's getting up there in age. 30 in athletic years is old. So he had a lot of injuries. Process is over. Yeah, he got a lot of injuries. I don't know, bro. Um, for me, if I'm looking at it from an Embiid standpoint, I try myself in the free market. I mean, it's like, and I think Embiid in the same boat as Dame. You're 1 or 2 years too late. You should have done this 2 or 3 years ago. You wait. Now like I said, now you get to that age where you're getting older. You get into that age where, you get to the time where people had a chance to evaluate you and see. You went through a couple of coaches. You went through a lot of different players. You went through a lot of different injuries, and nothing came from it. Do you have a playoff series? I can't remember. They didn't go to the finals once. I don't even remember. I had to, I'm not sure, Matt. You are statisticians. You can look that up for me. But my thing is, of all the things you can put on accolades, you can put on MB, you can't put champion on them. You can't put that on them. So now, same thing we talked about on Monday's show. With D Hop choosing the Titans. When you get to this age, you in looking for championship mode to add to your legacy. So to me, to stay in Philly, to hope they get the right pieces. If I'm Embiid, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna try at least try. Put yourself out there, because what you got to lose? If no one takes you, okay. Nick. Oh, Eastern Conference Final. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks, Matt. Yeah. So my thing is this: if no one takes you, what you got to lose? Nobody take you, still in Philly anyway. So why not try yourself out there in the market? I just don't think. I think he should have done 2 or 3 years ago. But however, we in this position he's in. If I'm Embiid, I'm not staying another year to see what Philly's gonna do. I'm not staying for no possibility to see if they gonna get the right players, because there's no guarantee they don't get the right players around you, or they get some young players that's gonna take time to develop. So it might take 2 or 3 years in that process to get you up to where you need to be. By that time, you're 32, 33 years old. Now you know what I'm saying? Now you really over that hump, so to speak. So if I'm gonna be with all the injuries you have, I'm looking for a ring to add to my legacy. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm putting myself out there. That's what I would do. Now, from a Philly standpoint, if I'm the organization, what I would do as an organization, I would do everything I can to keep him, because right now you don't really have anybody on your team that can add anything to you. I mean, Maxey is straight.
Yo.
Yo. There we go.
All right. I don't know what happened. The new mic thing isn't picking up the new mic. I had to use the alternate.
Yeah, when we first came in, I heard you though. When we first started,
I don't know. And then it went mic cancel. I don't know.
You might have to after we get off this, restart your computer and try it again.
I did.
I did.
I had it working. I had this working.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but whatever. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. So
right.
We good. We all rolling. Not man. So I was just talking about the Embiid situation until you got in here.
Okay.
And so basically, I was saying, Philly had told him in a nutshell, hey, look, next year we're gonna have more money, maybe wait until we can get around, do some free agency to build around you. And I don't think Embiid said exactly what we're gonna do. And I just kind of say, for me, if I'm Embiid, I'm out. What players I have staying? You'll be 30 next year. Or I came in 30 this year or next year. You close to 30, let me say that. And so you're already on that, getting on the other side of what we call athletic old. You had a lot of injuries. So at this time in your career, it's ring chasing time to add to, you're looking at legacy. So it's ring chasing time to add to your legacy.
Yeah.
And to me, to stay there is a waste of your time. Loyalty don't mean nothing in this game. You know what I'm saying? People tout you.
Right? It's loyalty from the team and loyalty from the player. It's
right.
The NBA is the most unloyal place in the world. If you want loyalty, don't watch NBA. That's how it is.
Yeah, you're right though. You're right. And so if I'm him as a player, I'm leaving. I mean, but I don't know if you heard me, but because you're probably not playing, but mess with your mic. I was like,
nicely done.
I think he's 2 or 3 years too late to make this decision either way. You know what I'm saying? I think like 2 or 3 years ago, he should have started thinking along those lines. Okay, maybe nothing's happening here, and let me move on before I get to that 30-year-old mark. Same with Dame.
I mean, if I'm Philly,
mm-hmm.
you never even got to a finals. Tear it down. Tear it down.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
He's a big guy. He's only going to decline after 30.
Right.
I'd sell him off now. You can get a ton in return.
I agree.
That's me. Because he can't win as the main guy. He hasn't. So nobody can say he can because he hasn't even made it to the championship. Hasn't made a finals. Get rid of him. Start over. Get more athletic guys. That seems to be what's winning now.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of him.
That's what I say. I don't see the purpose hold on to him either or. I don't see the purpose on Philly's side, and I don't see the purpose on Embiid's side. To just part ways and reconcile the
I mean, Philly's been reckless. You give Ben Simmons that contract. You let Jimmy Butler go to keep Tobias Harris. You ran it like shit. Your process has been garbage. You've been garbage. Your decision making has been garbage. You fit the city that you're in because the city's garbage.
I know.
Your biggest icon is a movie actor.
Rocky.
Fuck it. All right, keep him and keep sucking. I don't care. Your process was to be mediocre. Congratulations, you made it.
I think Bill Simmons. I think Ben Simmons was in his best place he could have been was Philly, because they didn't ask him to do much. So his skill set was perfect for where he was at. Kick it to Embiid, get a couple garbage points here and there. Bring the ball up. Anywhere else.
Yeah, but you don't give that $40 million. You don't give
Defensive
Player of the Year $40 million.
I agree with that. Harden and Butler. Yeah, I forgot to have Butler, Maxey, Simmons. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, man.
You just can't do it. You're not built. The league is not built for your style.
Right.
Nice talent, can't win.
Only won once.
Kirk Cousins, nice talent, can't win.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
and Embiid is just a better version of Draymond Green. He's starting to be more famous for things he says than winning.
Yeah. I agree.
At least Draymond's got the rings. He may have been the third, fourth, or even sometimes fifth player on a championship team. But he's got rings. So what he says weighs more.
I agree. I think Philly haven't been good since Doc. I think that's the only time they won was they won once with Doc, and that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe just switch cities. Move to Camden. Go across the bridge to go to Camden. But anyway, since you win, now I guess we can talk.
Nobody wants to go to Camden.
We can talk about the other subject.
Our team's linked up yesterday, huh? Just made it official today.
Yep.
Former second-round pick Denzel Mims, the New York Jets, is now a Detroit Lion, and I like it. I like it for both of us because he never got traction here. He never caught on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me fix this light. Give me a second.
Okay.
There we go. He never caught on. 1 year he got food poisoning in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't catch on with the playbook very well. He's in his 4th year now.
Right.
There's no 5th-year option for a 2nd-round pick. I say move him. I think it's good. Why waste the reps? Aaron Rodgers has a very good track record of developing and connecting with undrafted players, late-round picks, molding these guys the way he wants.
Right.
Why waste the time, the effort, the energy, and do it in a guy on 1-year deal?
I agree.
You got a guy, Jason Brownlee. You got a guy, Irvin. Guys who are walk-ons, undrafted players who have the capability. Jason Brownlee is the same size. He's 6'3", 205 from Missouri.
Right.
Like, real aggressive going up and getting the ball. Mims is like a one-trick pony. He can run straight and jump balls. That's it. Like, he'd be a great street ball player, but he never developed all the routes. Goff and Detroit like to get the ball downfield. So I think it's a good fit for him. I mean, I wish him well. I don't have anything bad to say about the guy. I'm surprised we got something in return. So,
yeah.
you might like him. You might catch on there.
I like it. I kind of feel the same way. I think it's good for both sides. I was talking to a friend today. He's a Lions fan. And he was asking me about, what they get. I say, I mean, well, on both sides they really lose. Even with the picks, Jets got a conditional 6, Lions got a 7 round. So not real. And I guess like Brad Holmes must have liked what he saw, and he want to take a chance and let him go to waiver wires because they was like 8. I think the Lions was 18th on that depth chart for us. Take a chance. See 17 people's gonna pass on them. Waiting for Jameson Williams not gonna play for 6 games. So you got another receiver in there. I do like the undrafted guy they picked up, Green. I like him. So he probably moved to the practice squad, but still, I still think it's good because now you got an extra person in there. If somebody get hurt, you can bring Green in. You got St. Brown. You got Reynolds. You got Marvin Jones Jr. So I think you got decent receivers. I like the way Ben Johnson calls different plays for different people. The rookie tight end out of Iowa, I think is going to do well. So I just think that it's a good fit for Detroit for what they need. Somebody can just, even if you just run fly routes and draw the defense that way, you run Gibbs underneath. You know what I'm saying? Things like that.
Yeah.
So I think it works for both things. I like it. And he ain't really losing. He ain't really losing nothing.
It's got potential. Like, he's made some nice plays, but they're too far and few in between.
Right.
And for his sake, he's never said anything wrong. He's never done anything wrong. Sometimes it's wrong fit, wrong system, and it just doesn't work out.
Right. I'll think the same thing too, because sometimes.
So I think he could catch on somewhere else. This just wasn't a place. And if he does catch on, it's not like the Jets made a bad move. It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes a change of scenery is all you needed. The guy I always reference who made the most of it was Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon didn't catch on until after 30 years old in the NFL.
Yeah,
he was a spot backup starter. It was very poor performance. Guy with the right coach with John Gruden. All of a sudden was Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Super Bowl taking quarterback.
Right.
So sometimes it's just coaching, scheme, fit, surroundings that it clicks for players. And it's not saying that the Jets failed. It's not saying the Mims failed. It just didn't work here.
Just didn't work. Yeah, and I agree. I think that's the perfect way to sum that up. It just didn't work. And like the guy I was talking to, he was like, "Yeah, but you could wait till you got the waiver wires." Well, why? You're not losing anything. You give the Jets your 6th round pick conditional. I didn't see what the condition was because when I haven't went back and looked. But even if it say like he does well, it turns to a 5th round pick. Okay. I think he's a 5th round as it stands now, a 5th round pick talent. You know what I'm saying? So it's still like you ain't lose anything. And for the Jets, you're just gonna get rid of him anyway. So if you get something back, fine. You just let him go to waiver wires, you won't get nothing. So anywhere it goes, I think it works. So I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a very good move for both. I like that they did it early in camp. I like that they did it early on in camp,
right?
Because of the fact that he
I forgot about
gets
Hard Knocks
like,
too.
why waste the reps? Why waste the time? Why waste the reps that you can give to other guys? If you don't think he fits, move him now. Let him get a good fresh start in Detroit, and then now you give the guys who are undrafted a chance. Listen, he was a 6th wide receiver at best for us going into the season.
Right.
But it's New York, and they'll make a bigger deal out of it. And fans, we wasted another pick. We wasted another pick. We drafted him under Adam Gase. There was no direction. There was no rhyme, no reason. The second year was the COVID year. Then he gets food poisoning another year. I mean, it's all right. Thank you, but
but Nick,
and
I know you're not. I'm talking about the Jets fans in general. I think look what you got now. You know what I'm saying? Who cares if you wasted that pick? Look what you have now. You have a team who can possibly go far in the playoffs, or even we can say even Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? They have that potential. So who cares about that pick? And then on top of that, you at least got something out of it. So if I'm a Jets fan,
get that money off there, you get a little bit. I think they have like 5 6-round picks or something.
Yeah.
So you need to hit, and we've been hitting on these mid-round guys since the Robert Saleh, regime took over.
Right.
You have to. You can't have all first-round picks. You can't have all top contracts. You gotta hit.
You gotta hit them late round picks.
Fans want Quan Alexander signed back. Might take $5-6 million. They want Cook $5-6 million. You just can't keep doing it with Madden with the salary cap off. Rodgers is only a $1 million cap hit right now. Next year it's $107 million cap hit. You got to find some of these undrafted guys that come in and play a good role and contribute to have that really cheap salary. Because now you move him, there's a chance you might move Becton too. Becton's lost 60 pounds since last offseason. He was 394. They're saying he's around 335 right now. You move him, you free up another $8 million, and now you can redo Rodgers' contract again to take some of that 107, move it up to this year. So I think the Jets are like $25 million right now with cap space, and they're probably not done. They might make some other moves. There's some other guys, step up in camp. You could see a move. You could see other moves. You could see Becton. You could see cornerback Bryce Hall.
Right.
Brees Hall's the running back. Bryce Hall's the cornerback. You could see one of them go. Not one of them. The cornerback go. We'll free up another $2.5 million this year. So, I mean, they have their imprint on the team. They have their starters. They're looking for the key reserves that they want to do. We have depth for the first time in over a decade.
Right.
So some guys who've contributed and were starters at one point might just not fit where we're going anymore because the team is getting that good. It's a good problem to have, right? When you got too much talent, you trade it off.
Yeah, that's what I like too. We was talking about that as far as the Detroit side. It's like it's a lot of players. They got a lot of depth at defensive end, a lot of depth. And I'm thinking that's a good thing because they had a lot of injuries last year. Now you can, you don't know what Pascal gonna look like because he didn't play a full year. So, you got Charles Harris back. You got a lot of players that stepped in. You got the core back. Julian Core, his brother might even make the roster. They got so many people. So that's a good thing. You look at the last two regimes they had, they made a lot of horrible decisions. And so you come in and this regime seems to be making some great decisions. Now we see what it turns into. You know what I'm saying? That's still the key, but it's still first time, and for me, I can speak for me as a Lion fan, that you see hope. You see somewhere, okay, I can root for this team. I can take the paper bag off and root for this team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I mean, I really, really like, I've said it a lot to you the last couple of years. We've been on the same trajectory.
Right.
We've had really, really awful pasts, both of us.
Right.
And I don't think it's crazy to say that
as Lions fans and as people. So.
Yeah. I don't think it's nuts to say that either one of us can make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I think Aiden Hutchinson, I had a $5 free bet. And I took Arthur Smith from Atlanta as coach of the year.
Okay.
I took Bijan Robinson. No, I'm sorry. I took Trevor Lawrence as MVP. and I took Aiden Hutchinson as Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
It was a $5 bet to win $50,000. So if all three hit, nice.
Shoot. That'd be nice. That's a nice little hit.
It's nice $5 free bet, right? You turn $5 into $50,000.
That's a better flip than dope.
It's better than just putting 5 on blackjack and then losing it.
Right. Always bet on black. I asked you this question.
So I really like the Lions. I do.
Yeah,
I would not even be surprised if they make the Super Bowl. I wouldn't.
I mean, they got a good chance. I mean, to me, it's only 2 other teams in the NFC is better than them. To me, and that's the Eagles, because the Eagles is loaded. And I really think they stack up well against San Francisco. I mean, I guess San Francisco's slight edge because of coaching, and they've been, they got a slight better defense. Because I don't know what this defense is gonna look like. On paper, it looks good, but we don't know how they're gonna gel together. So I get that edge to San Francisco. But outside of that, to me, I think they stack up well against the rest of the NFC. Yeah,
I think you're better than the Cowboys. I don't trust Prescott in a playoff game.
Right.
Or any regular hit. They'll win a game like they did last year against Minnesota, 40-3, and then they'll lose next week to a team like the Broncos. They're not consistent. Right. Dak is not that guy. He is not worthy of that contract. But the NFC East seems to love giving out massive contracts to undeserving quarterbacks.
Hello, Kirk Cousins.
Get a massive deal.
Hello, Kirk Cousins.
I mean, Cousins. I can't say Cousins doesn't deserve it, because Cousins, he puts up good numbers. He's consistent with what he does. He is the most elite average quarterback we've ever seen.
Kirk Cousins is a Pontiac.
He's what?
He's a Pontiac. No, every year they put out a pretty decent product. A lot of people will buy it, but it's not a Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? It's an okay car that you mid-level type person.
Bang in the back.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's an okay product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not top of the line. He's a Pontiac.
No, you're never gonna brag about having the Pontiac.
Right.
It's gonna get you to work every day. It's gonna get you to your girl.
You can't really flex with the Pontiac, but it's a decent car. I mean, the 8 was a good car. But let me ask you this while I'm thinking about it. So I was in a Lions forum maybe it might have been 2-3 weeks ago. And so a lot of the fans were like, we can be shitty fans now like the Cowboys are because we winning. Da, da, da. And so I was like, why do we have to be that way? They was talking about how, because how people now starting to jump on the Lions bandwagon, and they kind of like, don't get on the bandwagon now. Oh, fuck them bandwagon fans, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, I disagree with that. Just because you say we be successful and start being a winning franchise, why we gotta be assholes about it? So as a Jets fan, and I know New York and Jersey, that area is a little different as far as mentality and how their fan base is. But as a Jets fan, you start winning and you start getting more and more bandwagon fans. How do you feel about that? Do you say fuck them bandwagon fans, or just like you welcome that because it shows the success that you have as a franchise?
I'll be honest. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what other people think. That's me.
Yeah.
Like, there's fair weather, and there's a lot of fair weather fans out there.
Yeah.
That they're not proud of their team.
Right.
They might be viewed as bandwagon, but they're fair weather, and every fan base has them. How many Patriots hats and jerseys have disappeared now that Brady's gone? It's just a fair weather fan. I want to ride the wave when it's high, and then when it crashes, I put all that shit in the back of the closet, right? It goes to the bottom of the dresser drawer because I never take it out.
Right.
There's a lot of fans. Like, I've seen people out with old Jet gear on, like they're bringing it out. They're proud to wear it again.
Right.
And that's just the way some people are, man. Like, take it outside of sports. It's just the way that life is. A lot of people aren't proud wearing an American flag right now. So it's just some people only want to ride it when the wave is at its peak. And I think that's what you see, not just in sports, in all aspects of life, right?
Right.
So I don't care. Like, I know how invested and how diehard I am about my team, as well as you, Lamar, Matt, and others. So I don't care. If you want to jump on the bandwagon, jump on the bandwagon. Enjoy it.
To me, it shows that you, for lack of better words, your team has arrived. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have other people outside of your where you live at repping your team. I think that's a good thing. That's a form of flattery. Why get mad about that? To me, it's like, I said this. I did a show on the No Name podcast a while back when the Lions last year when they started going that little role. I said you have to. I said not only the organization needs to learn how to win, but fans need to learn how to be winners now. And you've been on the losing end so long that you don't know how to be a winning fan. And I think that's, to me, you have to learn how to do that too. Was that you doing that with me?
I put it up as you took it down. Yeah, say that this year when you get rolled by the AFC East, bro. Good luck this year. You're not playing your cupcake schedule from last year where everyone gets 11 wins because you played the Texans 7 times each. NFC East is in for a rude awakening this year playing the AFC East.
I like the Giants at Saquon play. Saquon play. I like the Giants. I mean,
say fuck the Giants. You see his interview yesterday?
I did. He said he might
sit
out
the whole. Yesterday. He's like, I might just say fuck the Giants. I might just say fuck the team.
I saw bits and pieces. I didn't see the whole thing. I was at the gym, kind of like looking up, trying to read the little subtitles, so I didn't actually see it. But yeah, he said he might sit out this year. I'm like, man, that's devastating for the Giants.
Yeah, it's
because that's their team. I don't care nobody say. That's their team. That's their offense. Let me say that. That's their offense.
He has great value to that team.
Right.
He does. But
let's cut you off. Let me ask you this though. Here's what confuses me, Nick. If they're so close within a couple $1 million, it's got to be more there. Because why you can't make that happen? If you're only within a couple of mil, if it's 2, 1.5, whatever it is, why you can't get that done? That doesn't make sense to me. That's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things.
Because you don't want to commit to a running back long term anymore. Especially, listen, I love Breece Hall. We saw Breece Hall bust into the league last year,
right?
Averaging 5.8 yards a carry. Had a 200-yard game with catching and receiving against the Dolphins. We put a 40 spot on them, and it was his show. It was like, I arrived. I am that dude.
Right.
2 weeks later, he ruptures his ACL in Denver. I can't give that guy. If his next 3 years are amazing, I'm not paying him top dollar with one ACL already done.
Right.
It would be poor. It would be financially irresponsible.
I agree.
Barkley's already got the ACL. You're a great player. You're a great weapon. But you are at the point where it is a financial liability to give you a big contract as the running back. Yes, Matt, go look at his stats. Go look what he was doing, scoring a touchdown a game. Go look. I don't say shit just to say it. I say it because it was happening.
And I don't disagree.
He was the running back of the week. He was the rookie of the week. He was putting up great numbers until Denver. He had 3 carries, 72 yards, and a 68-yard touchdown in Denver, and then he ruptured his knee and was done. Yes. He was on pace for rookie of the year to run away with it.
I don't disagree with you, Nick, but I guess my thing is this.
I can't do it, though. Back to the finances.
Yeah.
I can't give a running back $15 million a year. I'd rather give my guard $15 million a year and keep replenishing running backs through the draft every year, because you're only as good as the men in front of you. Gone are the days of Jerome Bettis, Emmitt Smith, guys getting the ball, never coming off the field. Now it's, I got my running back. That I got a guy who runs. I got a guy who catches. I got a guy who blocks. I got a guy who does trick plays. They become like relievers in baseball. They're specialists.
Yeah.
Why am I going to give $15 million and that guy goes down? I can put the next guy in and he almost does the same fucking thing.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I don't disagree with you on all your points you're saying, but as an organization, don't you take in consideration who that player is, how he fits into the team? Then you take in consideration they offered him 13. McCaffrey got. You take the market. The market is say 16 because McCaffrey got 16. So you're not gonna give him 16. You already know that. So why not us off from 14, bring him in, we can finish this. It's not, it's only so I'm saying it's not that much money different. I can see you saying he wants 17. Then what you say lines up perfect. All right, sit out. But if you offer him 13, he probably looking for close to what McCaffrey got. You know 16 is out the question. Give him 14 and settle and keep it moving.
Some people don't believe it.
Because he's a valuable to your team. You don't have multiple backs like other teams have.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
You also have a salary cap, and you got to find that balance of this player does this much for this price, or we get a lineman and 3 other running backs for the same price.
To me, this is how I look at it. It's the difference between I go into the store and I say, "Hey man, this shirt is $14.99. This shirt is $15." You know what I'm saying? Oh, $14.99 is not like, oh, I'm getting a deal because it's $14.99. It's only a 1 cent difference. You know what I'm saying? In the scheme of what NFL money is, to me, it's that type of thing. It's like it's not that big of a difference. Pay the man or move on completely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just don't believe in. For me personally, I don't believe in playing those games. It's either like, here's what we're gonna do.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Since we're not that far apart, I'll offer you this. Then if you just outright refuse to 14, then we just move on. Because then what you said, your argument kind of kicks in. Then it's like, hey, look where we at, as far as like the way the game is going, all that stuff. Then all those points you make kicks in. Bye. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, if you're that close, get it done. So this don't be a distraction. We can move on with everything. We go into training camp and move on, and get the season rolling. That's how I see it.
And that's a fair take. I just think when you look at the running backs, name the last top running back to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got a point.
Paying running Marshall Faulk,
probably Matt.
Edgerrin James.
Matt, look that up.
Let's go through it. Leonard Fournette was not an elite running back with Tampa.
No.
The Chiefs have not had an elite running back.
No.
The Patriots have never had an elite running back.
Nope.
The Giants, there too, did not have an elite running back. They had Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs, serviceable backs.
Right.
You never put them in the elite.
Elite.
The Steelers did it. The first one with Bettis. The second one was both of them with Bettis?
I think both of them was Bettis. Who else did they have? No, they had
Mendenhall.
Yeah, Mendenhall. Right. You had Mendenhall. And you can't call Mendenhall elite. Great back, but not elite.
So it's a position where you don't need an elite guy to win. You need a good group.
Right.
So, excuse me. I gotta eat these protein bars and.
Oh yeah, do you think, man?
It went in the wrong pipe. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I take them with baby bites, but the crumb went down the wrong pipe.
And you made me think I need to drink my water anyway.
You're looking back at Edgerrin James, the days of Ricky Waters with the 49ers, Emmett.
Right.
The 80s with Marcus Allen and other guys. Those days are gone of the elite backs, like leading you to championships. Now it's just you need a serviceable back, you need a quarterback, and you need a trio of wide receivers or an elite tight end.
I agree.
Gronk, Kelsey. You're better off putting that money into tight end than you are running back.
So here's the thing. So now you brought that up. I was watching it's probably YouTube. Knowing me, I've been on YouTube a lot. And so that's kind of bringing up they have like 5 different running backs that's kind of talking about the market and how it is. And I think one of them was God, why am I going drawing a blank? What's the Saints running back?
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, thank you. I had Kamara on there.
Never won.
Priest Holmes, I think, was on there talking.
Well, when they won, the Saints won. What was it? Mark Ingram and Reggie Bush?
Yeah.
No, it was Deuce
Ingram.
McAllister. Was it Deuce or after Deuce?
It might have been Deuce and Ingram, but
let me take this call.
Go ahead. Go ahead. So basically, they had all these different running backs on there, And they're talking about the way the market is way the running back market is going, how the game is moving and evolving, and a lot of them still wanted to bring up the fact, oh, you need a running back, you got to have a running back. You know, they there to kind of keep your defense honest, and all are great points. But I always bring this up. I remember when Uber and Lyft and all that first came into existence. My boy was a cab driver, and cab drivers were pissed. Man, you know, they at the airport getting all the fares, and you know, they ain't unlike us. They not part of our group, and And I said to him, I said, this the future. Either find a way to work with them, or like the saying, you need to get down or lay down, because this is the future. So I say the same thing with these running backs. You know, this is the future. You got to find a way now to fit in the way the future is going. Because, and to what some of Nick's point, if I'm a franchise, I don't care how great you are as a running back. You know, the Giant situation is an anomaly compared to where the league runs. So I'm looking at it like this from a financial standpoint. I'm a 3 to 4 year running back rental. That's what you are. You are Avis budget. You know what I'm saying? That's all you are. But 3 to 4 years, I'm renting you, and then you go do what you have to do. Try to get another contract somewhere else. You're not getting from this team where you started from, because I can go right into the draft and just keep on resurfacing. I mean, you know, keep on reshuffling different running backs. That's the future. So your best bet as a running back is to do A, prepare to be rented out to different teams throughout your career, or B, find a way to make you valuable to stay with that team. That means learn how to run routes like a receiver and be a Debo Samuels type player. Change positions, because you can say what you want. How many fullbacks do you see now?
Very rare.
You know what I'm saying? That's gone pretty much. That position is
because
pretty
you can sub a tight end in, right? You can put your third tight end in to be that
fullback,
that H-back type,
or you can take one of your linemen to be a fullback. You know,
you're trying to find positional versatility. You put receivers like Debo in the backfield now; they can run the damn ball.
They can run the ball. So to me, you have to.
It's a dying art.
Me, you have to recognize trends, see where they are, and then roll with them. That's just how it is. And from a business perspective and from a player perspective, you have to do that. It sounds cold and callous and stuff like that, but if you are a player, let's take from players first. If you're a player, you have to go in and looking at what's my best bet. What's my best bet as a running back? You know, and if I think I should start when you start at Pop Warner. You should start thinking, okay, am I going to try to take be a running back for the rest of my career?
Go get a jugs machine and learn how to catch or tackle.
There you go.
Get a jugs machine and just have brothers, dad, uncle, neighbor, friends throw you passes and routes all the time. Mm-hmm. Breaking news.
Go ahead.
NFL owners have unanimously approved the $6.05 billion sale of the Washington Commanders from Daniel Snyder to a group led by Josh Harris.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's official.
Daniel Snyder no longer owns an NFL team. Waiting for AP to pop in here any second. But that dark day over the NFL is now gone.
Into the next scandal. So, yeah, but that's how I feel about it, man. You know, and I mean, I just go ahead.
Break down. Like,
yes,
you're not going to pay top dollar for a car that has a rebuilt engine because the first one blew.
Right. There you go.
And the way with the turf and the size and the speed and the impact of defenders nowadays, you got to be really asinine to give 3 years, $45 million to a running back. Yeah. What did they win? Barkley drafted top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Barely touched the playoffs. Ezekiel Elliott drafted top 5. McCaffrey. Leonard Fournette was drafted in the top 10.
Right.
Won a Super Bowl, but not with the team that drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric Benson years ago was taken with that. Reggie Bush is the only guy since 2000 to be drafted in the first round of the running back and win a Super Bowl with that team. And he wasn't even the main guy.
Right. That's true.
So you're better off when you don't take running back is the most easily replaced position in possibly all of sports.
Yes.
Because you need so many other things around you to go right. You need a scheme. You need the guys blocking. You need an effective passer with play action. Mm-hmm. You're not running through. It's not Pop Warner, right? You're not running over and through guys like Derrick Henry.
Right.
Derrick Henry, another running back taken early, never been to a Super Bowl.
Right.
You find guys like Pacheco, 7th round. Philip Lindsay was undrafted, made a Pro Bowl, 1,000 yards as a rookie. There's guys in this league who you just don't. I mean, even when the Jets took Breece Hall in the 2nd round, he was their 4th selection. They went wide receiver, corner, D end before him. They just happen to have the riches of 4 picks in the first 38.
Right.
So you don't put that premium pick there. If you're not putting the premium pick there, why are you going to put premium dollar there down the road?
Right.
Because you can replace it with a non-premium pick.
Right. I agree.
And it's a shame. It's just the way of the game. The way of the game, the wear and the tear on the position, the depth of talent doesn't really differentiate much between a 1st-round guy and a 5th-round guy.
I mean, every sport.
When you get a talent like Bijan Robinson, Bijan Robinson tears his knee, he ain't getting a big 2nd contract. Same with Gibbs on your end.
Yeah, true. Every sport evolves. If you go back and look at every sport from 50s to 60s, 70s, 80s on down to now.
Great point. Look at center in the NBA.
Right.
Center in the NBA playing the post is the same as running back in the NFL. You don't need it. You can get other guys to do different things. You can have LeBron play the post. You can have other guys. You got to find other ways. Running backs who catch are like Anthony Davis who can shoot a 3. That's a fantastic point. Good job.
Yeah. Every now and then,
So I'm only nice to you when it's me and you.
So you're saying Lamar's the factor here?
He's very divisive. Very, very divisive.
And them black guys, you know how they are.
I didn't say that.
Well, anyway.
But when you're not here, I say to him how divisive you are. So it might be that.
Yeah, it might be that.
I'm in a tug of war. You two trying to recruit me.
But yeah, so I just think that I just saw it pop up on mine. Why come so late on mine? Where'd yours pop up on?
Twitter.
Twitter. Oh, that's why. It might have popped up on Twitter.
Did you just get the ESPN breaking news?
One, yeah.
Schefter on Twitter. Schefter and Rappaport on Twitter.
Don't I have them on Twitter? I thought I did. Oh, I see it now. I
followed Schefter for a bit on Twitter after his Dwayne Haskins tweet. When Dwayne Haskins passed away, I unfollowed him. But unfortunately, he's got such a fucking death grip on breaking news that when free agency started up again this year, I refollowed.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, no, I'm not gonna go down a media diatribe or anything, but the media is just fucked up the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? It's just not great media. I know we you get past a certain age, you get nostalgic about the past. I love to come home from school and I'll have ESPN playing in the background all day long. And it wasn't even like it is now. All these shows, it basically was like highlights on a loop, but you would play all day long. Every now and then, a breaking news will pop, and you will hear it, and that was my thing. Doing homework, ESPN playing in the background. Eat dinner, ESPN playing in the background, and I love that because it kind of got me around sports all the time, and I can kind of hear different things. So then the next day you go back to school, man, you see what. You hear what happens, such. It was a topic of conversation. And I think like when it came to like the debate thing, it was an okay idea from its inception, but then that became who can out ridiculously take each other. And I think that's where it started going like downhill type. I don't like that. A good debate is cool. I like a good debate. I like a good argument, a good discussion. I like good discussion. But just to say something like I said I wasn't gonna do it, but like Skip Bayless, just say stupid asinine shit just to say it to get a reaction out of people is dumb to me.
I love that nobody wants to do a show with him either. I love it.
I love that too.
You ready, homie?
Oh, he said something. Continue.
I mean, we're having fun, me and you. It's been great, just the two of us. You know, it's our little bromance is evolving
Building
here.
castles in the sky.
Divisive motherfuckers about to show.
Yeah, so that's my thing about that, and that's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate. So going back to Adam Schefter thing, but there's people like him that has a grip on certain things, and you end up following them so you can kind of get that news. But one day we'll be the Adam Schefters. And I'm talking about this, like this form. We have that inside track, because and tying it back in, we're talking about coming full circle because things evolve, things change, and with the running back position changing, the media that covers it changes. Everything changes, and when things change, you have to learn how to ride that wave and what I'm saying, get right in it.
What up, man?
What up, man?
Can't hear him now. It's contagious today. Couldn't hear me when I came in, and now we can't hear you. Nothing, homie.
I hit the wrong thing. That's not what I wanted to do. Hit the wrong thing. Go back up.
Yeah. While he's working that out, I'm going to read the statement from Roger Goodell.
All right, go ahead.
Congratulations to Josh Harris and his impressive group of partners. Josh will be a great addition to the NFL. He has a remarkable record in business, sports, and in his communities. The diverse group that Josh has put together is outstanding for its business acumen and strong Washington ties, and we were welcomed to the NFL as well. I met Josh several years ago prior to his acquisition of an interest in the Steelers, and have been fortunate to get to know him better over the past few months. I know he has a commitment to winning on the field, but also to running an organization that everyone will be proud of. Nice little dig there at Snyder, and to making positive contributions in the community. So basically, he says in a good PR way, good riddance, Daniel Snyder.
Right.
So,
but
Washington, $6.05 billion, man. That's whoo.
I mean, he made money off of it, so he, what you say what you want about Dan Snyder, he ain't lose.
No, I think he bought it for like $600 million, right?
Yeah, so he got $6 billion out of it. That's an investment. I'd be like, okay, whatever, I'm out.
Yeah, anybody who got in that 90s, like you even a little bit earlier, you look at Robert Kraft, you look at Jerry Jones, you look at Woody Johnson with the Jets. He bought it for like I think $300 million. Right. And now they're worth a couple billion. Like the investment in getting those sports teams in the 90s before the implosion of the internet. Right. I mean, it was just great business timing. There's the Steelers, the Giants, teams that have ownership, the Chiefs. They've had ownership forever. So, I mean, it was dollars on the cents, but to purchase these teams when they did for a couple $100 million was a risk. You know what I mean?
Right.
You pay $300, $400, $500, $600 million. Now it's been pretty wild, the take and the value.
Yes, that's a great investment. I think the Snyder thing too, man. It's unfortunate stuff that happened. It is, but I'm a type person like this. Yeah, what they gonna do to clean up the culture? Because he's not the only organization that happens in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you just being reactionary to things that happen instead of like being proactive and clean up that culture. If you're saying that's what you're serious about, which seems like they're not. It's just something to put a statement out to make you look good in the public because you don't see any actions clean up that culture, which brings us to Northwestern.
Well, when you look at that, we knew they had the money, right? If you going in for $6 billion, you're not scraping pennies together. You're not at $5.8 billion and like, oh, I got a tip cup outside of McDonald's, right? You got the money at $6 billion.
Right.
The character, the person, the group of investors, that was the part where that was going to be more important. You knew they had the money.
Right.
But now you want to clean up that franchise, like you said. You want to have them going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
They're an old-time franchise in the league. It's a good fan base.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those fan bases that when Washington's good, it's a fun environment for football.
Yeah.
That place. You can say that about a lot of places, but
I mean,
I think the Washington fan has been beaten down for too long with the poor approach that Snyder's taken. With
they
the
said he wasn't even really making money.
Giving Albert Haynesworth $100 million from robbing the 4 Jets, overpaying them that one-off season in the early 2000s. It's been ESPN, Twitter, Bleacher Report. You get the same word 16 goddamn times because they release it right away to get it out, and then they're like 5 minutes later, more on the sale of. Oh, you got anything else you want to add to that? Because I got another football topic before we change it up.
All right, go ahead. No, go ahead.
How fucking stupid is Jordan Addison living through the Henry Ruggs situation? 140 miles an hour getting a ticket. Oh, wow. Hold on.
Okay.
Right after the sale,
Mm-hmm.
NFL released the findings of the independent investigation conducted by former U.S. attorney into allegations of misconduct and financial improprieties made by former employees of Washington. Let me say this Addison thing. I'll kick it to you, and then I'll read this to try to break it down a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
How asinine are you, dude? Like, all right, you might not be on a side street in Vegas, but 140 miles an hour again with the car. Come on, man. Like, listen, we've all been young, we've all been dumb.
Yeah.
I've done 115 in a car on 287. But you're especially your position, one of the guys you probably watched a couple years ago and maybe learned some things from.
He wasn't drunk, was he?
That I didn't get.
Okay, go ahead.
Came back. Yeah, he. I don't know how many more examples people need in life before they correct their own behavior. Myself included. I'm 44, right? So I'm not shitting on the kid for being 21 or 22, whatever he is. I'm 44 and I'm still learning shit.
Right.
But I just don't want to see another lady die because someone is being reckless that is held to a different standard because he's in the limelight.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what do you do now? If you're a judge, take his license. All right, bro. Use Uber. Get a car service. You got the money. You're good. I'm gonna teach you a lesson. I'm gonna teach everyone coming after you a lesson. Because I guess when we sent Henry Ruggs to jail, none of you motherfuckers learned. So now we're gonna be real hard on you. I don't care if you play football. I'm not gonna have you take someone's life.
Was Ruggs intoxicated though, right?
I believe.
I think he was. I'm trying to remember.
I believe so. I believe there was drinks. I don't know the point level. I don't recall the point level.
Okay.
But it's definitely, I mean, sober or drunk. You're doing 100-something miles an hour on a side road. You just asking to kill somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a whole different thing. So here's what I say. Full disclosure. Oh yeah, thanks MJ. Full disclosure, I love to drive fast. I do. But I do not drive fast like that on side roads, on top streets and stuff like that. I don't. Get on the freeway, I do drive fast. Do I do 140? No, because I don't have a car that does 140. But I don't go that fast, but I do drive pretty fast. I've taken a lot of driving courses. Not to say that that's any different, you know what I'm saying? But so I feel comfortable when I go to driving at that speed. Yeah, like you said, the guy was young. You do stupid things when you're young. Oh, 140 to 55. Jesus. Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah. So if it's a 55, it's more than likely a highway, but still, it's
probably like
Matt, can you Ruggs was, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
can you pull Ruggs's alcohol level?
Here's the thing about this that I think is very disturbing. It's not just football either. The culture of athletes get drunk and think, okay, I can do what I want because I'm an athlete, and go out and get on behind the wheel intoxicated. It doesn't take much. You got enough money to get a lift in Uber or whatever. Oh, hell, get a service. You got enough money to get a service to pick you up in style and take you where you need to go if you just want to flex. You know, why even take the risk? You got time and time again where you see people who are locked up for things, your whole life is gone.
Have your boy who's useless drive.
Right. You got a lot of useless people around you.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna give you $70,000 a year. Drive me around.
Oh, okay.
That's your job. Thank you, man.
0.16. Okay.
I like the logo too, man. I like the Wu-Tang. Was that for Washington? I can't tell. Did you convert? Washington. Due to the findings, Daniel Snyder will have to pay $60 million in resolution of Miss White's findings on all outstanding matters. The conduct substantiated in Mrs. White's findings has no place in the NFL. We strive for workplaces that are safe, respectful, and professional. What Mrs. Johnson experienced is inappropriate and contrary to the NFL's values. So somebody's getting $60 million.
I don't know, man.
You get a $6.05 billion payday. $60 million just right here. Cash that in for the shower at the strip club.
That's just taxes. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. That's a tax write-off. Do it before.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna finish that in comment. I'm gonna get back to the Washington thing, but I think the problem is that the culture that is created around them, needs to change. Now, of course, I'm not behind the scenes, so I don't know exactly what's being said, but to me, it has to be a stronger reprimand to people that does this. Even though he didn't kill anybody, he has some kind of strong reprimand to kind of be a deterrent for people to do this again. Because if another athlete does it again, say, oh man, they're gonna give me a fine. I can afford a couple grand, whatever the fine is, and do it again. Then they kill somebody. Now you infected several lives. With Ruggs, it was a daughter and a mother. That's 2 lives. The people that love them, that's other lives plus his own. When he get out, he can't play football no more. So now what?
Anthony, I summoned you. I mentioned you about 10 minutes ago when all the news came in. I'm like, Anthony, AP will be here any minute.
And so what are you gonna get out and work at Walmart? Work at McDonald's? You got a felony now.
Get a free meal though.
You got a felony now, so it'll be hard if you find a job. No,
it's so beautiful watching Aaron Rodgers throw passes. I'm sorry, I'm getting alerts about him at camp today with video throwing to Garrett Wilson. I can't believe I have a real quarterback.
Now getting back to the Washington thing. I don't know, man. I'm one of the people that kind of think like when I hear stuff like this, Washington did this and blah blah blah, all the stuff that comes out. The Mets had the same thing. Other organizations had the same thing. So it has to be a culture that's created that allows this to happen. So to me, fix the culture. Don't just fix that particular problem at the time that it arises. Fix the culture. Make it taboo or make it where it doesn't seem normalized to treat women a certain way. It'll be normalized to treat minorities a certain way or marginalize people a certain way. That where I include everybody. Just don't make it a culture where that's not normalized. So then you won't have that kind of thing happening it'd be a rarity, and much as you don't hear about as much as you do now. I think that's more the bigger issue that they need to deal with and attack, because it'd be another Washington somewhere down the line. It'd be another such down the line. Even with, Gruden and the emails prove that. You look at the emails, it was several people attached to them emails. So it wasn't just, saying Gruden saying what he said. It was other people in that email that was communicating with him, and nobody said, this is wrong. Why are you saying that? They were pretty much confirming it. They said it verbally or non-verbally. They still was confirming what he said. So it's a culture.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, essay.
We gotta
I'm not
spread the
talking
hate
trash.
around, man. We gotta spread the hate around.
I'm not talking trash about Washington. I'm just saying in general. It's not me talking trash about your team. I'm just saying in general. You know what I'm saying? Because
Anthony got mixed emotions today. He's misplacing his frustration towards you.
You can take Washington off of that and insert New York Mets. You take, you know what I'm saying? You can just go down the line. There's other organizations that does
he's talking about treat women and minorities better, and you're like, Mel's talking shit.
Right. He's talking trash. Fuck the minorities.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing
with you. Not
oh, my bad. I misunderstood
you, man. At the wrong time.
My bad, and I misunderstood you. And you are correct, sir.
And my timing was horrific with that. You're like, fuck the minorities. I'm like,
yeah. You are correct, sir. I am the main one talking trash about these hoes. That's what I do. But I don't run an organization.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying?
And if we get women in our organization, Mel will probably still say the same. So
yeah, so you be talking. They be doing shows about me next. So
call you Jamel Snyder.
For real. But yeah, I just that's my thing about that, man. Is attack the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I said this one time on our other show. We was talking about racism. Don't look at the individual. You know what I'm saying? The individual person is only responding to the system that's created. Attack the system. Once you attack the system, then you fix the individuals. So don't worry about the individual. The individual is a product of the system. On whether side you're on, wherever you lie on that side. So you attack the system, and then don't worry about the individual. So it's the same thing. Attack the culture, and then everything else falls right in line. I think the NFL, MLB, NBA, all of them, they too reactionary to things that happen instead of being proactive.
The brand will always be more important than any single individual.
You're right.
And that's how you sustain this business.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you sustain the top dog as the NFL. That's how you have the largest profit. That's how you have the largest ratings. That's how you have the most filled stadiums. It's because no individual person is more important than the shield.
Mm-hmm.
That's how every company should be run.
Right.
Baseball fucked up because they put the individuals who were doing steroids and gave them silence over the logo.
Right.
Oh, if you comply, we won't ever release the list. But then some people got released and some people get suspended. Like Major League Baseball completely failed. They should have brought the hammer down on everyone, bit the goddamn bullet for the 1 year, and let all these guys get suspended and have credibility with your game.
Right.
And if you look at that moment with the Balco and that whole list, that was the beginning of the end, in my opinion, for Major League Baseball.
Right.
Because they didn't care about integrity. You say a lot about the NFL, but I think the NFL always is about integrity. That's why guys who gamble at the facility or on any sport are getting suspended. Because they don't want you talking and discussing it in the locker room, on site, at the stadiums. Do that shit on your own time, guys. Do it. Just don't bet on our sport and do it on your own time.
Right.
Don't do it on the team plane. Don't do it in the team facility. Don't do it in the parking lot. Go do it from home.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have someone else bet for you on your team. It's about integrity. Major League Baseball didn't do that. They were like, "Oh, we'll keep look at the Astros situation. We won't punish anybody if you tell us what you did." What the fuck is that?
That's asinine.
It's where I started really like. I'm a Yankee fan at this point. I'm not a baseball fan anymore. I used to be a big baseball fan.
Mm. That's a good lead in to talk about your Yankees.
Go ahead. Let me take this call. I got in-home therapy calling me.
Okay. Hold on once. Let me answer this text right quick. What the hell? Somebody asked me what I cooked for entree. I can't remember. Uh. All right. Somewhere I wanted to go, but I'm just gonna continue on this until you get back because I want to go into a whole nother subject. They turned a blind eye to track fans back. 94 strike. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I agree with that. I think baseball has a lot of issues. Um, I like the new young players that come into the league. I like the swag. I think it makes the game exciting. You got the old heads who, why they doing that? And to me, you have to, and it goes back to what I said earlier. You have to look at what's the trend. This is what some of the younger people like. This is how the game is moving. Don't stop the momentum. You won't. Once this generation, me, you, Nick, all of us, gone, the new generation has to be the one you attract the game to because baseball now is not one of those things you say, oh well, let's go out to a game and watch a game like you used to when you was a kid. You just don't hear people talk about it like that. Diehard fans, yes. But yeah, I remember when I was a kid, even a casual fan, we're going to go catch a Tigers game, kind of stay at the stadium, get a hot dog, and it was a family experience. The casual fan like to do that. Now you starting getting less and less casual fans. The only people you really hear talking about baseball, and this is a generalization, are the diehard fans. You don't hear the casual fan like you used to. I remember like high school, we sit around, we talk about different sports, and you bring up baseball. Even the casual fans say, yeah, I like to talk about Tigers. So I grew up, in Detroit. We talked about Tigers and what the Tigers did, and you got the casual fans that can kind of join the conversation. Then you got the diehards that'll break down the statistics and and batting average and all that stuff, and you have a conversation about baseball. Now it's only really just the diehard fans talking about it, and the casual fans are slowly moving away from baseball. I heard somebody talk about even with the pitch clock and all that stuff, the game's still too long. For me, I think it's shortened. To me, it's like a shorter game. I think it's better. I like it. But then even the casual fan is like, it's still too long. How do you attract or keep these casual fans or new fans to come and watch your sport? You don't push away the incoming new players and what they doing. Let them be them. Let them throw the bat. Let them celebrate. Let them do what they do. To me, as long as it doesn't move into the form of harassment and taunting and stuff like that, who cares? Who cares? Because it brings excitement to the game. I like it, and I think that the younger generation would like to see that. Now, the one thing I do say a lot, I like to see some more small ball play than swing for the fences all the time. Home run or bust thing for me, and this is me. To me, it's just too much. I think that I want to see some small ball plays sometimes. But that's just me as a fan of watching the game, you know. But if that's the way it moves into, then I have to kind of move into with it because I like to see the game progress and get better. No, the game that I watched as a kid, I want to see it get better and progress. So whatever it is, yeah, MJ, but you know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this: Are you? But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say more less of a question than more of a statement, though. But you are not a casual fan. You're a diehard fan. So you say that as a diehard fan, but what would the casual fan say?
Ohtani is a very good player.
Right. right. Because you got to think of like this. You got to find balance.
I would kill for a guy on the Yankees who hit 307 with 30 home runs right now. I would kill for it. But would make this team 10 games better.
Oh yeah. Here's what I say though, Nick. I think you have to find that middle ground because you can't lean too much to the casual fan and the new players too because you still have the diehards that you need to keep watching also. So you got to find that sweet spot. You know, so like, you know, I think you should find a way to give that small ball continue to be played and not that home run or bust play all the time. But you have to have balance of that. You know, because you have too much of that home run or bust makes for a boring game too. For me. Because it's like, is he gonna strike out? You know, it's a whole bunch of strikeouts, or you're gonna get a whole bunch of you're gonna get like what's that? Was it last week? I think we had like 3 or 4 games was like in the double digits. You know, I think it was last week. I want to say it was last week. I can't remember. You know,
I was in the hospital with no cable. I don't know.
Oh, they don't have TV there. Sorry, long games were
not
better.
Cable, not.
Oh, okay.
Not. I can't watch ESPN. So, and even I can't watch baseball anymore, man. I can't. Like, I'd rather just open up Bleach Report and see what happened. I can't sit and watch a game. Like, it cures insomnia for me. I say Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill have put me to bed more times than my mother did when I was a kid. If I put a Yankee game on now, I fall asleep.
Let me ask you this, because I was going, well, what time is it? I want to make sure we get to other topics. Let me ask you this right quick, though. What do you think about, I was watching the WNBA All-Star weekend.
Sorry to hear
that. Well, let me.
How big was the gun to your head?
Let me say this. Was a hospital with both cables in the hood.
Don't even get me started, Anthony. No, I wasn't in the hood. May have gotten better treatment in the hood than I did at the hospital.
Oh wow! I watched it on YouTube, so I didn't get a chance to watch it, first run. But anyway, and I watched the skill challenge. 2 things that came to mind. I was watching. First of all, I was like, it's kind of boring. It has some excitement, but it wasn't like full excitement where it kind of like caught my attention the whole time. The second thing is, would women, and now before I ask this question, I want you to be objective when you answer this, Nick. Would a women benefit?
Asking the wrong guy. I don't ask you to be a 6'3" white guy. Why are you asking me to do things I can't do?
Would a women benefit more from developing their own type of skill challenge than mimicking what the NBA does? Because to me,
there's not much you can do, right?
Yeah,
there's not many options. It's shooting, and they can't dunk, so you can't have a dunk contest.
Right.
You can do the opps. I don't know what they did besides the 3-point. I saw the one girl hit 19 in a row or whatever.
Yeah, that was nice. They did that. They did that, and they did. The one when the NBA when they do throw the ball through the circle, then run, hit a jump shot.
Like the obstacle course. Or
yeah, the obstacle type thing. Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but yeah, they did that in the skills challenge.
What else can you do though, right?
I don't know.
Like you're limited. Like besides from the game, you're limited to shooting and like a skills challenge.
But get creative. I was like, to me, it's just like I was watching the NBA. I was watching a bunch of Toronto mans. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you want to impress me? Build a fucking upper deck where they don't have to have pitch black lighting up there.
Okay, there you go. But
you know what they do at you know what they do at NFL games?
What's that?
after every NFL game, there's usually youth football teams that they get to go on the field and play. My son did it. I've coached on the field after a Jet Denver game a couple of years ago. My son threw a touchdown pass on an NFL field, which was a really cool moment as a dad.
Yeah,
Most of the stadium is gone. Most of the stadium is gone. You know who's left? The people who want to watch their kids play, and the families waiting for the players to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Put on the WNBA games after the NBA game. See who really gives a shit.
But see,
you know what I mean? Do a doubleheader. Do a doubleheader. Do it even. Do it after, because the pregame for the NBA will be much bigger and more important.
Right.
45 minutes after that game. You know how they do like doubleheaders in college basketball in the same arena? Half an hour later, the next game starts. Do the same exact shit.
I'll say this.
Give it a chance to be seen by more people.
Because this leads more to my bigger point. I think because my second point to this. I started thinking about the other all-star games and other sports. I'm like, do we benefit from just like doing something different? Because the all-star games in general has been something from generation. Where's the evolution of it, so to speak? Where's it gonna hit? Are we gonna keep doing the same thing on down the line, or should we change? Because I haven't looked at numbers. I love to see the numbers of how many views were on each all-star game from each sport and how they went down, where it has a decline. Because I don't watch them like I used to. In the NBA, how many people can you dunk over? How many cars can you jump out of? I mean, it's like it don't really excite me anymore like that.
No,
I don't
remember the last time I watched an all-star Pro Bowl game.
Then like they don't play defense, so it just don't excite me anymore. Yeah, because he scored 200 points. Wow, it's just not the all-star game. NBA don't excite me. Pro Bowl is just shit. The new format they do that ain't even nothing anymore. WNBA, like I said, that was okay, but it was just like watching just women play the NBA basically. They just the same thing NBA did. MLB and home run derby, it's okay, but it's like okay. I mean, after I see like 10 batters or how many batters I see like the 5th or 6th batter, it's like okay, I'm tired of watching this. And then the game itself was just okay. I mean, there's a few highlights. I was like, okay, that was a nice little play, a couple catches. I thought it was nice, but after that, I was like, okay. Matt said that baseball was pretty good. It was okay. I mean, I think it was better than the NBA
3-2 game though. Like, there's nothing exciting.
Here's the thing: All-Star
game.
It's
a quality game, right? The game
but
is a
All-Star
quality
games
game.
to me.
Baseball's the only one with the opportunity to be a quality game because you're not throwing 65-mile-an-hour lob pitches in there, right? That's the equivalent of NBA playing no defense. Like, we're going to underhand slow toss it to you and let you hit a monster home run. That's what the NBA does with these alley-oops and no defensive effort. Baseball is the only one where you still have a player giving peak performance, pitching the ball.
I think here's how I say this too. I think, and I'm talking about back in the day, like when Magic and all those playing. When I watched the NBA All-Star games back then, Jordan, they did like stuff that you wouldn't see in the game. So it's kind of like, oh wow, did you see that pass? Did you see that? You know what I'm saying? It was like exciting because you have the best of the best doing exciting things. Football, you can't really do that. Baseball, you can't really. I mean, what you gonna do? Throw the bat up in the air? What you gonna really do? So it's just like another added game. So how is that any better than? Well, I mean, I guess I'm trying to think how to articulate this because my thing is like when I think of All-Star game, I want to see something that I won't see in a normal game. That's what I want to see when I say All-Star. I'm not gonna see this in a normal game. I want to see something different. And the other sports outside of NBA, you can't really do that.
You know what I want to see?
What's that?
I want to see an AAU 8th grade boys team play against the women and smoke them by fucking 40. And then we can just put to bed this being a fucking professional sport. I want to watch an 8th grade team embarrass a professional team.
I wish they changed that though, man.
Soccer team beat the women, the gold medal World Cup winning elite U.S. women's soccer team, lost to a 15-year-old boys travel team out of Dallas. Can we just stop? Like, stop trying to make it a mainstream sport. Let them have their fun and do it. I'm fine with that. My daughter plays softball. God bless her. They enjoy it. They have fun.
Right.
Stop trying to force it down my goddamn throat like it's actually top athlete.
Like, what
I don't get excited about a 25 dribble fast break layup.
Are you talking about like just women's sports in general, or are you talking about?
I think I am. I'm a little angry right now. I think I am. I
Jesus.
I took the anger torch from you and just started swinging it.
Jesus. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
But don't force it down my throat. Like, oh, professional peak athletes. What the fuck? I got one. I'm missing a big toe, and I can go out there and probably jump higher.
I enjoy some women's sports. I will say that I do.
Oh, hold up.
Huh?
Best comment of the day.
What's that?
Women's volleyball is something else. 100%.
But I like beach volleyball over.
Beach
volleyball is better than
even indoor volleyball now. It's like, we don't need pants. Like, okay, I'm with you.
I think that beach volleyball is better than playing with a 5-on-5. I just more entertaining to me. That's just me.
I do get impressed by both male and female rallies in volleyball. They're impressive. I'll give that.
I like women.
Probably the one sport where you could say men's and women's are closest in terms of the quality of the sport. I'll agree with that.
But okay, I guess because you're going down a slippery slope. What do you consider quality?
Where I could sit and watch it and be entertained and not bored.
But then quality is subjective then.
It is. I'm speaking about my personal views, my takes of what I can absorb and enjoy.
Okay.
Hey, not everyone likes little 3-foot midgets with little dupas. I do. Everyone's got their own
every time
taste.
every time I see something, I send you too. I send it to you.
I know. I love that my friends know that when I see a midget, it's got to be sent to Nick. That shit got me through the hospital for 2 weeks, man. I lost a toe, but I was like, oh, look at these midgets doing this thing.
Golf is very close is where we talk about ability. It's more technique than power. Yeah, but I don't like golf. That's just me.
True. I mean, I'll admit, golf is tough to watch. You have to really appreciate the sport to watch it. But I always say this about golf and bowling. Back when I drank, if you can drink and still do the sport, is it really a sport? Darts, bowling, golf. I can do this shit at a bar. It's really a sport.
Okay, because one thing
you want to have a fun sport, go drink a 12-pack and then try to do Olympic diving. That to me would be entertaining.
Only thing I would say is this, because I don't have a problem with women's sports. The problem I have more is turning everything into a sport. I'm tired of that shit.
Oh, you're not a fan of curling? You're not a fan of cornhole?
Hey, bruh, I like curling, though. I ain't gonna lie. I like curling. That shit hot. That shit lit. I like curling. But I'm talking about, I saw rock skipping, bruh. Rock skipping as a sport. What the hell are we doing?
I mean, rock skipping, cooking, and competitive eating. Like Americans,
sports though. But is competitive eating really a sport? I mean, it's entertainment, but is it a sport? So now we're going down that kind of.
I tell you right now, Joey Chestnut would have better ratings than LeBron on the 4th of July. I tell you that.
Watch the team and grunt. Wow. I like curling, bro. What do you say? I play much. Oh God, sure, but I only know like 18 prevents me from sitting in front of hours. Yeah, I can understand that. I that's my thing, man. Stop turning everything into a sport. I'm tired of that. I'm every time I look up at ESPN, it's something. I'm like, what's they showing? That's a sport. That there is asinine.
Let's flip it too.
Go ahead.
Stop chastising people that aren't interested in it.
Yeah.
I saw someone break down. We've heard all about the women's soccer and why don't we get more money than the men? The men's World Cup makes $6 billion. Each team gets like 2 or 3% of that, based on how you do. Right. It's a higher percentage if you win. If you go.
Right.
Women's World Cup soccer makes $600 million. they get like 12%. So when you break down what you get paid,
percentage-wise,
it's based off of what you generate. Want more? Make more.
I think that's a better argument to me, Nick. I think because to me to argue apples for apples argument is not a good argument for the women. It doesn't do them any good because you got to look at it from a numbers perspective. You try to do an apples to apples argument. Let's go back to the WNBA and the NBA because you hear that argument a lot. You don't bring in enough money. First of all, the NBA is subsidizing you, and you don't even generate enough money. Half the time, your stands are not filled. You need to find a way to make your product better to get more eyes to generate more money for you to be able to get more money. It shouldn't be encompassing on the league to pay you that you're not bringing. That's like never coming to work on time and always missing days, not even doing your job, and then going to your boss, let me get a raise. Same equivalent. You're not deserving of it. To me, it's not shitting on women because
the top salesman gets a bigger commission than the worst salesman, right?
Right.
Sell your product, make your money.
And I think the problem is when you say stuff like this, they call you sexist. No, this is numbers. I'm an advocate for y'all. I like watching women's sports. You know what I'm saying? Some of them. Let me make that clear. Some of them. I think some of them are entertaining. I like women's softball. I like women's volleyball. I prefer women's college basketball over the WNBA. I think it's better. It's more competitive. Let me say it's better to watch. It's more competitive.
Yeah.
But I at the same time, I'm just looking at it from a dollars to dollars things. If you can't say I want the same amount of money, you're not bringing to the table the same thing I'm bringing to the table. If
I tell you right now, hey, you want to keep me on the show, you got to pay me what Stephen A. Smith gets paid by ESPN.
Right.
I don't know why he popped into my head, but if I go to you in the morning, I'm like, hey, listen, you guys want to keep me on the show? You got to pay me $5 million a year, like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith get paid.
Right.
You're gonna be like, we don't generate that. How can we give that to you?
Right. That's a good example. Right.
But like the women's soccer team are like, no, take from the men and give it to us. Their sport generates more, but we want to get. That's like me telling you, hey, call up ESPN and tell them cut a check to pay for me because we're not generating what they do, but I want to be paid equally as the people that you're paying.
Yeah, I agree with you
the fucking dollar.
I agree with you on that. Right, I agree. And that's the problem, man. It's like, and then I heard some people come up with solutions like lower the rim so they can dunk. It's only like 1 or 2 feet. I think.
Say that again.
Lower the rim so more women can dunk. Because only one who can dunk now, I think, is Brittany Griner can dunk. I think Candace Parker's able to dunk, and that might be it. But they're very tall women. You know what I'm saying? So, in general, women.
And you're gonna make me go off.
I mean, you go off. I mean,
it's still not jumping higher. It's still just gonna be barely pushing it in the rim. If you know what I mean, you're not doing windmills. You're not in the air long enough. You're not athletic enough. So lowering the rim don't do a goddamn thing. Matthew, I have yet to see any evidence that proves differently. I agree. And I know if Lamar was here, Lamar would be yelling at us. Would you date a woman who could dunk on you?
That don't bother me.
Probably not because
I'm secure my masculinity.
And the tallest woman I've ever been with is 5'2". So if she could dunk, probably not a woman. You're talking like Spud Webb. So no.
What she look like? That's my first thing. What she look like? I mean, Grinder's a man. Prove me wrong.
I don't disagree. There's been angles where there looks like an Adam's apple, and I don't want to.
See, now you gonna make me start looking. Every time I see her, be looking for that.
There's been angles like.
Yeah, but she's not. Is she a man?
I hear Lamar's voice in my head saying we're about to get canceled. Lamar has ingrained himself and his.
I can argue this way.
His line of decency in my head.
Some people just lack common sense. Yeah, I don't know, man. I hear you, Smitty. My thing is like I just don't like the fact that if you kind of bring up logic, then they demonize you. You know, I can disagree with you saying without me saying I'm against you. I'm not against your sport. You know what I'm saying? I'm against anybody getting a bag. Women, men, whatever. You get in the bag. That's how you take care of your family. That's fine. That's good. You know, you happen to be good at a sport that happen to come on TV. You can get paid for it. That's fine. But you can't expect people to give you top dollar if you're not generating that top dollar. Make it more interesting to everybody, not a small few. You know, I'm part of a minority, no pun intended, that likes the sport.
Several, I believe.
Right, right. I mean, because I'm talking about as far as a whole.
I'm part of minority too, man. I'm in the 9-toe group now.
Right.
All you weirdos in the majority with your 10 toes and your full feet.
Right.
Fucking nut jobs.
Talk about marginalized people like us with 9 toes.
A good wind comes over. I'm tipping because I don't have the stability.
I'm gonna start my own KKK against people with 9 toes. But anyway, I just think that you know, you have to look at it from the whole perspective when you're arguing this thing. You can't just argue, I need more money. That's a stupid argument. Give me more money. Why? Why should I give you more money? I mean, if you generate the money, you deserve it. I don't care. Get it. Take it. You should have it.
Let me see. Go ahead. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself because I want to find his audio to play it.
Okay. Don't Kelsey Plum looks like she can play a joke. Yeah, she got it's right. That smile. You know, she got that thin little line right there. Yeah, she does. That's what Water like. Darren Water like though. He liked the Joker. But anyway, I think that you know, when you arguing this thing, that if you're not generating the money, then do something to make people watch your sport. More people watch your sport. Not just appealing to young women, or not just appealing to a minority amount of men like me who watch it. Get people in all categories to watch your sport. And then you can generate the money. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? We only had to go on further than that. And like I think it was Marcella Wiley that kind of the suggestion I told you about, and I think Tracy McGrady said lower the rims, move the 3-point. I don't think they need to move the 3-point line because some of them shoot from way behind it, but lower the rims, they can generate more dunks and stuff like that. Because you do have, and I'm gonna say this, don't they? You do have some of them girls or women who are athletic.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They might do no Vince
I'm not
Carter
saying
ducks.
that, but it's not a level of athleticism that piques my interest that I have to watch. I'm not seeing Allen Iverson fitness. I'm not seeing Vince Carter dunking. I'm not
seeing
see Steph Curry ability to move and get the shot off. I'm not seeing LeBron on an open break. If I'm watching varsity basketball all the time, I don't want to go then watch 3rd and 4th graders play.
See, I disagree. Have you watched the Aces play?
The who?
The Aces, Las Vegas Aces.
I haven't watched a single thing of it.
They play. I like when I watch them play. I think that's good entertainment. If you can get more teams like that, and plus add those other things to it, I think you improve the sport vastly.
Okay.
You know,
let me play this.
Go ahead.
It's a financial breakdown.
Okay.
Of WNBA players wanting more money.
Okay.
Your league is already operating at a financial loss. The NBA is burning money to keep you alive when you don't generate the revenue. Here's the breakdown.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me know if you hear this okay. Stop me if you don't. I'm not sure where the mic is because this mic isn't working.
Okay.
Once the same rev split that the men get. What's the headline? It says, we're not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue share. Okay, which seems fair. We did a little bit of research on this. There's 12 players on a team. There's 12 total teams, so 144 total players. The WNBA league loses $12 million a year. So if you divide 12 million by the 144 players, each player owes $83,000. Thanks for playing. So if you guys want the same rev share, you're going to have to write a check for pretty much all the money you made and all your endorsements and everything. You guys owe about $100,000 each. You're in the negative. It's not good. It's not viable. And we've had 20 years of this, basically. So we know profit is not on the horizon. It's called bad business. Yeah, it's called waste of time, waste of money, right? It's called basically a charity.
It's that last sentence. It's charity. The NBA is giving out charity. They're operating at a loss, opening these arenas, paying these employees.
Hold on 1 second. This is my son. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'll go on a hate rant. Oh, I look good. You're operating at a loss as the WNBA. It's a charity. They are losing money, writing it off to try to be fair. Nobody cares. Not that many care. It's not enough to be a viable, successful business. And it's nothing against the athletes, but you have all these Me Too people. You have all of these women's rights people. Go spend your money. Go support it. You can't get mad that you're not getting paid what other sports do if you're not generating it. You don't get to cry for things in life and get it. I like being on this side.
All right. I mean, okay, but go ahead.
You have to generate the funds. If I'm running a business, right?
I agree.
And I make $1 million a year as a business, I can't have my salary and payroll equal $12 million a year. I can't have another business bail me out and pay my $11 million in salaries.
Right.
It's not feasible.
Well, I mean, but that don't.
They're trying everything. Dwayne Wade just bought into Chicago, so people will show up to the Chicago games maybe to see Dwayne Wade, right? Like there's gimmicks coming with it to try to sell it now.
Right.
It's too much in my opinion. Like it's. Man, this is gonna sound fucking harsh, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, you probably didn't say
no one's paying to go watch guys at a rec league, or no one's going to pay to watch guys play at an LA Fitness because it's not peak athleticism. It's harsh, but it's true in my opinion.
But I disagree for the peak athleticism. It's peak in their category. I mean, you can't say that's like saying let's take golf. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might say, well, golf ain't peak athleticism because they're not doing the same thing a football player is doing. You know, so who's going to pay to watch that shit? You know what I'm saying? But so I think that, Smitty, that's a whole nother discussion. But I was going to go back to Smitty's comment about the deserve. I think I'll bring it up. I think when you're talking about,
I may have missed it.
I think when you talk about athletes not deserving because they didn't cure cancer and stuff like that, I think you go down a slippery slope because you can add that to anything. We pay top dollars to go see Rihanna. Does she deserve that much money? She ain't cure cancer.
Look at the Taylor Swift tour right now. Taylor Swift is making more money than certain countries will.
Right. They
look at McDonald's. McDonald's isn't curing cancer. They might be creating cancer.
Right. You got to play with that.
And no one will ever cure cancer because they will be Clinton. They will be killed off if they create a cure for cancer because the business,
the pharmaceutical money is making
money than any individual.
Oh yeah. That's a whole nother.
That's another show. Sports topic.
Whole other show.
Get me worked up.
So I
diabetes. It makes too much money.
Too much money.
Cure.
The dialysis place make a ton of money. For a profit place, make a ton of money.
Yeah, it's a shame, man.
Yeah, but
it's a shame that healthcare has become a business, and then the profit is more important than the people.
Only in this country, bro. But my thing is, we can't look at it from a deserving standpoint. I think that's not a good argument because then you bring into play a whole lot of stuff to that.
That's a privilege word, right? For like, not to get political, but that's a word that people throw out for privilege. Right. I deserve this. Right. I deserve that. I've been wrong. I deserve it. It's business.
Yes.
If you can't generate it, find a different career. Play the sport for fun on the side.
There you go. Let me ask you this though, because I'm gonna try. I'm gonna wrap it up and try to do like a rapid thing for the last couple questions. Topics. Clinton really didn't want that movie. Come on. I didn't even see. I heard about it, but I ain't seen it yet. Population control. Yeah.
Let's kill off people and drain them of every dollar they have and put their next generation of family in debt so we can all be rich.
Let's move to the Northwestern thing right quick.
And I'll be honest with you. I know very little bit. I know Lamar wanted to get into it.
I'm gonna do a quick summary of it real quick. Yeah, when Saquon says I deserve 16 million, I laugh. Yeah, those are a lot of different. We'll get into another show, but here's the thing. So, Northwestern had allegations of harassment. That's how it came out initially.
I heard the
and then they did individual investigation. First they said that Fitzgerald knew nothing about it. The team was harassing football players, blah blah blah, and they suspended him for 2 weeks. That was the initial thing. A couple of days later, it comes out, or maybe the next day, they fired him. The timeline a little bit further on, some former players came out saying that they had this thing called running. So I guess like if most of the freshmen and younger players, you did something wrong, they get you in the locker room and basically just violently dry hump you. They had this thing they called dry hump you. Yeah. Hold on, it gets worse. It gets worse. Let me finish.
So if you did bad, you had to get dry humped?
Pretty much.
Who did the dry humping? That sounds like more of a punishment for them.
The upper class and the seniors did it.
Wow. Go on.
I want you to get the whole picture because it's more.
You have my attention more than you ever had, dude. Tell me more.
So they had this thing called the car wash. So pretty much they have all the seniors stand in front of showers butt naked, and you had to get through them to get to the showers. And then when you get in the showers, they dry hump you.
It's not dry if it's in the shower, though.
Well I guess it's dry hump because you ain't penetrating. But that's a whole other discussion for another time. So then they had a Hispanic player where they cut Cinco de Mayo on his hair. They wouldn't let none of the black players and cheerleaders wear braids. They told them don't wear that type of hat. It's not the hood. And just like a lot of little overtones like that. So you had that come out. So now they got it comes out now, I think 24 hours ago, or maybe today. I can't remember that timeline, but now it's saying that Ben Crum got involved, and now it's not only in football, it's softball where it had underage girls being sexually, well, they didn't say assaulted, but it was some sexual misconduct. And in the baseball team, some more harassment is going on. So now that's where we at now in Northwestern. Here's the thing I'll say. First thing is they came up with a solution not a solution, but they came up with this thing they're going to do for the football team. They never did for baseball or for softball. Second is the same staff is still part of the football team that was there when Fitzgerald was there. Why haven't they been fired? If Fitzgerald's fired, they still was a part of it. They were there. and to me, it just sounds like a whole lot of pent up. You got a lot of homosexual pent up energy in you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you are. That's what you are. But don't pin it up. Don't hide it. Just come out.
Can we go back to bashing the WNBA? Because I feel that's safer than entering this discussion. They have 74 guys trying out for center. Like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, I forgot it. I'm glad you brought that up. Then they'll make the backup quarterback and a rookie snap the ball from the center and both of them naked. Tell me. Why? What I don't understand. Why is everybody naked and humping each other? I'm confused by this.
I tell you right now, watching that on TV
thanks,
would get better ratings than the WNBA.
There you go.
I don't even know what to say about this. Like, I can't say anything that's not going to be like, this is. Oh, now he pops in. We start talking about Northwestern and
talking about dry humping. Dry humping and naked.
Look who shows up when we talk about Northwestern.
Can y'all hear me?
What?
No.
What? No. What are you saying?
That's the bet. What?
Can y'all hear me?
No, we can, but that look on your face is good.
Priceless.
No. I'm gonna laugh with y'all because like literally this whole hour that I've been back here, I've been fucking with this mic.
Yeah, you're right.
No, like literally, like dead ass. I've been fucking with
that
this
a new mic or something?
Do you remember after my knee surgery, Lamar, I had to do like hold my phone from the bed because I couldn't get it to work. That's what she said. But yeah, Mel, very good job that we did that unplanned and we were in sync where we're both like, what? No. That's the best. When someone ever says to you, can you hear me? You say no. Because how can you answer the question unless you heard them?
Bro, I've been so fucking irritated with this fucking mic the last hour that I didn't even, the joke went right over my head because I'm like, yo, I hope these fuckers can hear me.
His face looked like he just saw something horrific. Your face went, hey, can you hear me?
Oh, you must saw some Northwestern purchase.
Because I was about to be so disappointed because I'm like, literally, I didn't miss, like, first of all, I was going to be like 30, 40 minutes late. I knew that. But the fact that
you accomplished that.
Well, I knew that, but I'm just talking about like the fact that I've literally been back here for like an hour and some change trying to fuck with this mic.
Did you move your equipment or something?
No, I didn't. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Did you get the special edition Barbie headphones?
No, man, it's quit hating on my fucking rose gold, but I'm just glad that you fuckers.
Dude, my entire Instagram and Facebook timelines are women at these Barbie things today. There's all pink everywhere.
Really?
So.
No, you should see that there's fucking women that are putting their kids in these fucking baby doll little boxes to make them look like Barbie dolls. I think it's kind of cute.
There's pop-up closets at malls everywhere where they're doing like Barbie pop-ups. All right, 6 o'clock, everyone. Thanks for joining the show.
I'm going to join the show. I just wanted to make sure my audio was working.
Go ahead, jump in right quick.
I'll hang if you want to go.
We go a little extra 10 minutes. We don't have to hop out, but jump in on Northwestern things. So I'm sure you kind of versed.
Me and MJ been talking about it the last couple of days, and
I mean, the more and more stuff that come out, bro.
No, it's more like, coming out, bro.
It's like, first of all, okay, it's a lot of moving parts to me because it's like, first you address the part about it's not just the football. They have a culture problem. I mean, this must be the dang on word that we're gonna use for the day. It's a culture problem. It's a culture problem.
Hey, Mel, take it deep. This is
pause.
Go now.
I'm saying, like to me, the situation is deeper than just the hazing part because all right. So Pat Fitzgerald got suspended 2 games. That was the original problem after investigation. He was going to get 2 games. And then more shit came out. They ended up firing his ass.
Right.
Then more shit comes out. It's the baseball coach. They fired his ass. And now, last night on the late night hour show, for you guys that didn't watch it, it's the softball team. There's more coming. There's a problem in Northwestern as a whole.
Right.
Real quick. Softball or baseball? Because Matt said
softball and baseball, both.
Baseball and softball.
Both. Wow. That's what I was saying. They had underage girls there playing, and they were sexually harassing them. They didn't go. They ain't going into details of the dry hump on. They didn't say all that. They just said sexually misconduct. I think that's what the words they use.
Yeah, and that's a problem because we're talking about sexually misconduct issues to begin with. All right, so that's the bigger problem about all this to begin with. And then it started with the football team, baseball team. Both coaches have been fired. Now the softball team is going to go deeper. But here's the problem. For those who don't know who Ben Crump is, do your research. He's a civil rights lawyer. So now that he's involved and other civil rights attorneys are getting lawsuits that they're filing on behalf of people of this Northwestern thing. So now you got a sexual misconduct problem and now you got a civil rights problem. Put it together. You got to take care of the whole Northwestern department. You got to fire every last one of those sons of bitches. It's a problem across the whole campus.
I'll raise you this though, Lamar. Something this that happens to this level and this much, it's not just at Northwestern. Can't be. It's too normalized for it to be at one campus. I think it's at several campuses. And this go back to what we said about Washington and everything. You need to address the problem and the culture that's going on
in college sports,
in general. I mean, here's the thing, because I think Ant and I talked about this on the show we talked about originally. I understand hazing, light hazing to me, or discipline. Because when we was in the academy, when I was in the academy, it was something form of disciplines you got for doing stuff. And I don't think that was a problem because, making you do 50 push-ups and running and all that stuff made you at the end. And when I came out of the academy, I was swole.
It toughens you up.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I did a lot of push-ups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And did a lot of running. So you was in shape. So stuff like that I have a problem with. Little light haze I have a problem. Making the rookie carry the gear and stuff like that. I mean, I think it's a coming of age and type thing. That's not a big deal.
There's no crime in it.
Yeah, right.
Hey, rookie, leave your house a little earlier and go get 6 dozen donuts and 5 boxes of coffee before practice. We all did. There's not duct taping guys to the goalpost anymore.
Right.
I mean, we saw Hard Knocks when it started. They did shit like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Richie Incognito kind of ruined that for the NFL. So
right.
You saw the NFL, they was like,
he was using a torch and he was using a cross and he was using flames on people's lawns. So I mean, Richie Incognito went,
he went a little bit too.
He was a little 1960.
Yeah.
Here's my question about.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead, Nick.
And I'm not doing the victim blame. It's gonna sound like that. It's totally gonna sound like that, and I know that.
Do I need to lean back?
No.
Hey, but before you say that, do we need to put the disclaimer out?
Right.
No. I'm being inquisitive.
Okay.
I'm being inquisitive.
Mm-hmm. I can't see that. What is that?
Everybody has a cell phone.
Oh, okay. I got you.
How in this day and era does nobody speak up? How in this day and era do people allow it? Like, this is the most vocal time in human history.
True.
Where you can voice your opinion about any injustice, and there will be people who wait to protest and show up and cancel and get things done.
That is true.
You tell me I gotta take my pants down and play center. Go fuck your mother. I'm gonna have the news here in 5 minutes, bro. I'm gonna leave the school. Like,
I don't disagree with you, but you gotta understand.
People can speak up about injustice, and people will go to bat for you instantaneously. Strangers will come and have your back. You want to do what in the shower? Fuck that. I'm out. Right. I'm packing my bags. I'm leaving the school. I'm entering the portal, and I'm gonna expose you. First, I'm shocked.
There's a couple of things I want to say to that, because you have to understand some things here, Nick. First of all, I understand it from you talking from a Nick Shine perspective. So I'm saying you probably wouldn't do that. You probably would not allow that to happen to you. I don't think I would. I don't think Lamar would.
Hell no. You can speak. I ain't letting that shit out.
Because football ain't that important for me to be touching other niggas' nuts. I
mean, I'll play the quarterback, but I'm not playing the center in that.
I ain't telling none of that. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't a vagina that's in front of it, I ain't put my hand in between.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
I ain't touching.
I got my own lust to touch, but I'm just get that curious. But anyway, I'll say this: you have to understand that there's a culture that's built around that. If I say anything, I'm gonna lose playing time. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? This culture is built around. It's like, I'll give you a good example. My great grandfather, right? He was old enough to have his siblings born.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, David Robinson.
You never seen a black
center?
No.
I know. Rodney Hudson is a black center. Don't do this.
The Pouncey brothers.
Yeah, the Pouncey. Yeah. Come on, Pouncey twins. Come on.
They go to Northwestern though.
No, they went. They went to Florida.
So my great grandfather was old enough to have his siblings born on plantations.
Mm-hmm.
So say that your volume got low.
Born on plantations. Okay. So there was a mentality that the white man was greater than I. It was that mentality. That culture was built in them. So, for instance, we'd be sitting on a porch, and as a kid, I'm sitting there listening to him talk, and he'd say, "Yeah, the white man did this, blah blah blah." The mailman would come up, who happened to be white. Yes, sir. Like he was a kid. Whatever the white man said, he kind of kowtowed to him and held his head down, because that culture was built in him. It was built in around him. Most of the siblings were like that. That culture was there. So you correlate that to the Northwestern culture. There's a culture built in. If I do certain things, I'm gonna get this kind of repercussion, and I don't want to deal with that repercussion. And they're greater than me trying to go outside of that. They built that fear in you.
True.
You may not have it. Lauren and us may not have it, but you have to still look at it from that perspective, because that's the culture that they were dealing with. To me, logical sense was like, I ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? That's logical sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But then I gotta look at that culture that they were in and it built in Northwestern. This was not something that's happened just in 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
This was years of this happening on this campus.
Yeah,
where
it's crazy.
It was normalized.
Yeah, because one of the quotes that I read last night on the show is a running back. He's talking about when shit was happening in 2013 at the beginning of Pat Fitzgerald's tenure at Northwestern. So this is a situation that has been going on for years. It's no different from when the Sandusky situation at Penn State took place. It took years for that shit to come out, and that was going on for like at least 20-30 years.
Michigan
State. So
University
that
of
was
Michigan
a different day and era. That wasn't like this.
No, I get what you're saying, Nick. I get what you're saying, but
it's fucking Northwestern.
I know, but to Mel's point, like,
it's not like it's Alabama, and you got to do what you got to do to get to the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I got to do this so I can make millions. Name the last guy drafted from Northwestern.
But you got
Robert Smith, the running back, right? No, did he go there?
The offensive tackle just went in the top 10. Pat Saransky.
Pete
Saransky. So
you got to look at
it was in a center.
But I mean,
Fitzgerald was a guy there too. He played in Northwestern. He played in a bowl game in '95 with them.
Yeah. He's one of them. So to be honest, he probably got hired because he knew the culture, was a part of the culture, and knew everything how the culture worked.
That's a point right there. You just brought up a good point, Lamar. You brought up a good point. He said he didn't know anything about that. He went to school.
Bullshit.
He went to school there.
Went to school there, played there.
He saw that shit.
Yeah, he probably saw
player's perspective. So you had to have an idea something was going on. Yeah,
well, that's why he was fighting. That's why, if you notice, he wasn't fighting the 2-game suspension because he wanted it to just, I'll take my suspension and it'll go away.
Yeah, but once more and more shit came out,
once more and more shit came out, and he was like,
"Good call too with Slater."
Wow.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Good call with Slater. Like I said it like facetiously, so I'm thinking they've had a couple linemen come out.
But it's sad that in this day and age in 2023 that we still having to deal with this shit, and I said this on the show, and me and MJ have preached on this hardcore, especially when it comes to the NCAA.
Right.
When you have the adults who are literally supposed to be pseudo parents in place of people's parents, because they come to your house, sit down on your couch, drink your food,
and you need to be late all the time, boy. You made all kinds of good points.
And they come in and they look at your mother and father and say, "Hey, I'm going to take care of your baby boy or baby daughter." All right. And you had that as a parent, because we're all parents, right? We're all having like, all right, the fact that you're in my house and you're preaching this sermon to me, and you're saying that you're going to take care of my child while they're under your care,
right?
I'm putting my trust and faith in you. Cool. Hey, baby, go ahead, go to Northwestern, go do what you got to do.
It's scary, man.
It's scary. It's a scary situation
because you think with these, right? Everyone gets exposed for everything that they do nowadays. Like, what the fuck was his name? Urban Meyer in the bar gets exposed with that. Like everything gets caught. Right. Everything gets exposed when you're out of line nowadays, right? You know, there's cameras everywhere.
Right.
To think that you're sending your kid to a school nowadays and something like this can still happen. Like my kid's 3 years away from potentially college or whatever. You know, he loves playing sports. I got to talk to my kid and be like, yo, shit like this still happens, man. You got to speak up and not be a part of it. Don't think you ever have to conform to something. Right. That'll come in, crutches and all, and I'll beat the shit out of everybody. I got your back, kid. Like, don't think you ever got to do something that questions your character or is insulting to you as a person or will stay with you the rest of your life.
It's not worth
I make a lot of fucking jokes, but this is like worrisome shit as a parent, you know? And for the kids, like the athletes now. How the hell do you keep your commitment if you signed on to go to Northwestern now?
There's a lot of, then you gotta look at this level too. How's that damage the psyche of the players?
Oh my God.
You just gotta think about
this is what
they come in at
it's the tip of the iceberg. You didn't even get to that part yet. You didn't even get to the actual mental damage that it does to these kids. That's what I'm saying.
Right, it's so much stuff that goes on.
Need to be held accountable to the highest degree.
The whole staff should be fighting.
They gotta go to jail. I don't give a damn. We can't continue to allowing adults ruining young kids because they're still kids. They're 18 and 19.
Well,
they may be adult law, but no,
look at the softball players, Lamar. At the very least, they had to be 17.
Yeah.
You said he was underage. So at the very least, he's 17. That's the least.
Yeah.
You could have someone that was maybe younger.
Steve Tasker. I Googled it, guys. I see some guys naming some names. Steve Tasker is probably the biggest name to ever come out, right?
So, you know, it's just so much stuff, so layered that
it's layered.
I go back to my original thing. Let's fix the culture.
Yes.
You know, in college sports in general. You can't tell me it's the only school. You can't tell me it's the only school. You can't convince me of that.
That's the scary part. That's the scary part.
Cause wait till you hear what's going on in Alabama and Georgia.
Boy,
you know what I'm saying? Wait till you hear that stuff come out.
Man,
Michigan, Ohio State. These big, these big time programs
that are making hella money.
Hella money to making all the kids, and the coaches turn a blind eye and getting these double-digit $1 million contracts.
And it's crazy, bro.
At the same time, talking about, NIL is the worst thing that happened to college sports. What? The transfer portal, that's garbage. Why you using the transfer portal to build your team, but tell Deion Sanders he's wrong for doing it?
Hey, Mel, we talked about this even on I Often Wonder podcast. There's hey, look over here.
Right.
I'm trying to distract you because there's a whole bunch of bullshit over here I do not want you to see.
Right.
That's why they're wolfing and crying about small shit like NIL, transfer portal, because they don't want to uncover the actual rug that is actually sitting on top of shit that is way dirty under that rug. They're going to continue to do that.
He said, I don't know
it's a shame,
about the kids, but I wouldn't let that stuff affect me. Yes, Smitty, but you can't just say that. It's easy to say that. You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know, bro. You really don't know how that would affect
you. Like, and I'll have
because you thinking that you. Let me say this one point. You got to think about the mentality of a young, impressionable kid coming into these programs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They wide-eyed and bushy tail, excited about playing. All they thinking about is that. That's all they think about is that.
On track mind, pretty much.
On track mind. And then you get in there and you get violated. However way you get violated, whatever level of violation it is, that devastates your confidence, your trust level, everything.
And you don't know how long it's gonna take that kid to get out that shock moment.
Right. And then you wonder why you got Henry Ruggs drinking and driving 140 miles an hour. He might have been under center. I don't know. You know how to throw a joke in there somewhere.
Nah, I know. Hey, I'm glad my mic was working. Shit, I came at the right time. Nah, good shit, fellas. Good shit.
Right. You got something to wrap it up with? You got something you want to say before we get up out here?
When this whole youth generation, right? Every generation's got their issues, got their different struggles, like, right? And you look at this generation now where all they care about are follows, likes. And something you got to talk to the youth about now is don't compromise yourself for acceptance.
Right.
You got to have integrity. You got to have a backbone.
Right.
You got to realize that in this world nowadays, you don't have to be held down. You can speak up and you can expose people and you can become a fucking hero. You want your fame? Expose these people.
Right.
And don't ever compromise yourself to be accepted by anyone. I mean, an analogy that pops into my head is a woman who's in a relationship and she gets beaten by the boyfriend or husband, is that she has to, the mentality of I have to stay. This is all I have.
Right.
Nobody has to stay in that shit.
Right.
You know, and we make a lot of awful jokes here, myself included. I'm not ahead of that list, but occasionally, we spit some truth and knowledge here, and hopefully, gets out there for others to see.
Right.
But,
no, I'm gonna edit you out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's perfect. It was white out, right?
Right. Of course.
And one other thing I don't want to end on, like, not somber, but like depressing down note. First New York Jet practice today. Training camp is open. Rodgers is there. Everybody looks good. They traded Mims to Detroit. We covered that earlier.
Right.
Becton looks good. Becton's down 60 pounds. I'm going to use the bathroom, and I'm probably going to pop on and do a Proud New York Jets fan show. So, one of you guys want to pop on, if you're available, let me know.
What time?
I'm gonna get up, use the bathroom, and come back like 5 minutes as soon as we're done.
All right, let me take care of some shit. I might hop on there with you, bro.
I gotta take my son somewhere. If you wait about an hour, I can do it. Yeah. If you want to wait that long, now it's cool. You want to
I'll wait. I'll do some things here. Maybe I'll set it up for like 7 o'clock because some of the big shows go on at 8. I wanted to get in before them.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Because once they pop on, like the guys with tens of thousands.
You know what? I can do it after. I just do it after, and I take them after. It's not a big deal. Nobody you want to
Nah, man. I'm just glad my mic is working. Shit, that's all I'm worried about. I just wanted to pop in before y'all got off and make sure my mic was working. That shit was pissing me off, man.
Wait, I gotta ask something because I heard the slip. You got a plantation down there? Because I heard you say, I'm glad my white is working.
No, Mike.
You flipped it first and you corrected it, dude. And I caught it. I know what's going on. Oh, you're out to get me.
Man, hey, bro, if I had one of them, man, I'd be living a much more luxurious life. Trust me.
Who's getting a Facebook or who's getting a Facebook phone call?
Nah, it's messengers, man. But nah, good show, man. I thought y'all did good. I'm glad my damn shit was working. That's all I wanted to see.
Nick had a problem with his earlier too. It must be something. I don't know, something on the StreamYard or what's going on.
I don't know, but I'm glad I figured it out. Who knows? But now, let's shut it down and then we'll chop it up in a little bit because I go
ahead. I mean, you want to go ahead and I can chop up in the next 10 minutes, so I take them later because I forgot. That way I can just run my errands and drop them off all at the same time.
Yeah, but y'all know what it is, man. Sorry for my tardiness.
I'm gonna go on in like 10 minutes.
That's fine.
I'll do like my opening, and then you guys pop in like 10 minutes after. That way you're not just sitting there. So if you got to do something, 6:45, we'll say 6:45 for you guys.
Okay.
All right. Everyone want to watch Anthony, Matt, and then you guys, Anthony.
Everybody but Anthony.
Fans on YouTube. I'll throw the link in. Go ahead, do your sign off stuff. I'll throw the link in.
Yeah, throw the link in. But y'all know what it is. Make sure y'all tap in. Big homie Nick Shine, Proud New York Jets fans, Detroit man with the No Name podcast for you, Detroit Lions. Wildcard Chief is coming back for you Chiefs fans.
Jet.
You get everything popping. What's going on in Jet? And y'all know what it is, man. I.O.W Sports Network on the bottom of the screen, Facebook, Instagram. Most importantly, the YouTube channel where all the content is at. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word what we got going on. I.O.W Sports 1 on Twitter, man. Great show, fellas, man. And the boys.
Yo, Gino. Italy Jet. Gino, text me. You want to come on the show? I'm gonna do a Jet show.
Yeah. Until then, tap in with me and Jersey Boy MJ. Hope you get a flat tire. Wow, bro. Hey, tap in with me and Jersey Boy MJ tonight for our Thursday show, I.O.W Sports Late Night Owl Edition. And then, hey, until then, Monday, come check us out. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
I like